Donald Trump has been hit with more charges related to his handling of government documents after he left the White House. On Thursday, U.S. prosecutors charged Trump with 3 new criminal counts and added a third defendant. The case relates to the material that Trump transferred to his Mar-a-Lago residence and was later seized by the FBI last year.
Thank you, everybody.
Let's take a closer look at what Trump stands accused of. The new indictment alleges Trump retained one more document containing national defense information than was listed in the original charges. It references an incident in which Trump, during an interview at the Florida residence Mar-a-Lago, presented the document to several individuals without security clearance, while bragging about a, quote, plan of attack against another country. The new charges also accuse a second of Trump's employees, Carlos de Oliveira, a maintenance worker at the former president's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, of helping to hide sensitive documents Trump allegedly retained from the White House when he left office in 2021.
So I want to give you guys a good way to ascertain whether the people that have been telling you about this story have been misleading you or they've been being honest with you. If I'm pandering to you because I know you like Trump or you're close with Trump's politics or you're a Republican voter, Trump being the key Republican right now, if I want to pander to you, I want to dismiss this as nonsense. It's a witch hunt. I want to repeat the language of the multi-million-dollar corrupt politicians in the Republican Party, right? These elites in the Republican Party, these establishment elites, I want to be repeating what they're saying, trying to cover for Donald Trump, right? It's a big nothing burger. It's a witch hunt. This is politicization of the DOJ, right? That's what I want to talk to you about. So if, in fact, that's what I'm doing, if someone you're listening to is doing that, one of the things they're going to want to stay away from is the flooding of the pool, the attempt to delete the footage. Pay close attention to whether they even mention that narrative, and if they do they go into detail? That's going to be something you're not going to want to play around with, right? So pay attention. Have the people in right-wing media who have been talking about this story, have they been talking in detail about the flooding of the pool? And now that we know more about this guy and the deleting of the footage, have they or will they be talking about it? And will they go into great detail about that? If I were trying to pander to you, I would not. I would avoid that. It's easier to be like a Kim Iverson and play games with the recording, him saying, oh, I could declassify it and pretend like, oh, maybe it's a draft of a book and maybe it's a whatever, and pretend as if the DOJ didn't interview the people in that room to know exactly what he was holding in his hand. Right? You think these people are children? This is their first rodeo? They don't know how this works? I mean, it's actually the reverse, right? When you look at the 60 Trump cases with the election nonsense, right? He came in with flimsy nonsense and it got thrown out of court. What do you think is going to happen here if they come in with flimsy nonsense? Same thing, right? If you don't come, especially if you're going to go after a former president of the United States, no judge is going to want any part of this if this thing is not solid. Can you imagine being the one to be, oh, I'm going to go and be part of something that's wishy-washy or flimsy, knowing the entire Republican Party is going to come after me hard? And if I do anything wrong, I will be held accountable. If there's any chance that they could, malpractice, whatever, corruption, hell no. I don't want to see this case. I don't want to hear nothing about this case. I don't want no part of this unless it's, dot every I, cross every T. Now, people are human, so I'm not saying little things might not still slip by, shockingly so. But something as major as you're going to make a claim that he had a top secret document and he was showing it to a bunch of random people, and you're not going to back that up with evidence confirming it beyond just a recording, which could be interpreted in many different ways. And that's what's happening, right? Online, people are saying, maybe this, maybe that, maybe that. You can't go in a court and your core evidence is something that can be so easily speculated. You need something solid. like multiple witnesses in the room saying, yes, it was a classified document. You really don't think they have that? Kim Iverson, pay close attention to how this story has been covered and will be covered. And then you'll have your answer as to who's being honest with you and who's playing you for a fool.
De Oliveira attempted to delete security footage at Mar-a-Lago at the behest of the former president after they received a grand jury subpoena for the videos. De Oliveira faces an additional charge of making false statements in a voluntary FBI interview, in which he told the FBI he had no knowledge of boxes containing classified documents, despite having personally helped to move them. According to the indictment, his lawyer did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
Guy says he has no knowledge of a thing that we have direct evidence of him being involved with. Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Kim Iverson, Russell Brand, Glenn Greenwald. Anyone? Hello? Where'd they all go? Oh, they moving on to another topic? Oh, okay.
In Miami last month to federal charges of unlawfully retaining the classified government documents. He is the first former U.S. president to face criminal charges and was...
Anyway, that's the breakdown. I want you to pay close attention to right-wing media today. It's going to be the normal thing, slow walking, right? If this was some breaking news, well, I'm sure there was some development on Hunter Biden. I'm sure they jumped on all that stuff right away. Special broadcast, Hunter Biden, blah, blah, blah. This, I'm pretty sure most of right-wing media have not reported on this major breaking news yet. Why not? Because they're liars, right? When stuff like this comes out that looks bad, they slow walk into it. They're taking their time to figure out how they can spin it. Typically, somebody will pop their head out first and put a narrative out that the rest of them can all follow and repeat, right? But the devil's in the details, or lack thereof. They're going to stay far from the details, far from talking about the charges, right? It's just going to be a focus on characterizing it as nonsense, political. They're trying to stop Donald Trump, whatever. These are the narratives that will be most effective at fooling their audience, right? If you want to pander to your audience, the popular product to sell right now to a right-wing audience is that this is nothing. Trump did nothing wrong. It's just the Democrats politicized and the DOJ. That's what they want to hear. And if you want to be profitable, you better tell them that. They certainly don't want to hear about these charges. They certainly don't want to know the truth, right? You can't handle the truth. Or can you? Well, if you watch this video this long, I think maybe you can. Congratulations. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, be well. Now I'm going to go pick up my car, which is finally fixed, supposedly. Stay tuned.